Hi students, my name is NITESH SHET. I am from Honora. So last class we discussed about a topic from 9th standard, that is coordinate geometry. In coordinate geometry we already discussed about Cartesian plane and what are the terms we represented in the Cartesian plane and how we take it as a reference in a Cartesian plane. So let us discuss about how we locating a point on the Cartesian plane. So locating of a point in Cartesian plane. Yes. So we have to learn about how can we represent, how can we locate that point. So just by taking some of the examples, so we have to take. So just already you know about that Cartesian plane. So the intersecting point we call it as the origin. It's the coordinates of that origin is 0, 0. That's x coordinate of 0 and y coordinate of 0. And this part we always call it as OX, and it's a OX dash. It's a positive x coordinate for x axis and it's a negative x axis. Here we are dealing with positive x coordinate and here we are dealing about negative x coordinate. So we call it as a positive y axis or positive y coordinate, that is OY, and OY dash, here we are taking the negative xy coordinates. So it is about Cartesian plane. So we have to discuss about how can we represent, how can we locate a point in a Cartesian plane. That is, so I will take some of the coordinates here. So firstly I will take 1, 2, 3 and 4, and here -1, -2 and -3. Then here I will take -1, -2, -3 and -4. Then here I will take 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a first quadrant, it's a second quadrant, it's a third quadrant, and it's a fourth quadrant. So we already know that. So here, so just I will consider the x coordinate. For example, I want only the x coordinate of 2. X coordinate of 2 I want. So here I will take the x coordinate of 2 here. That means it's a perpendicular distance from the y axis. That means x coordinate means the perpendicular coordinate of the perpendicular distance from the y axis. The x coordinate of any number means it's a of distance. It's having a distance, perpendicular distance from the y axis. That means firstly x coordinate of any number, x coordinate of any number having a perpendicular distance from y axis. Yes. So I will if I locate the value of x coordinate of 2, that means from origin I will start there. So x coordinate of 0 in the origin. So we have to start from 0 here. We have to start from origin here. So we have to go to the distance. So perpendicular distance from the y axis. Here we have to travel up to the x coordinate of 2 here. So that means it takes a perpendicular distance from the y axis. So x coordinate of any number means it is having a perpendicular distance from the y axis. So here it also. So x coordinate of -3 means we have to go perpendicular distance. We have to take the perpendicular distance from the y axis. So here we have to travel. Then the y coordinate of any number means it's a perpendicular distance from the x axis. That is, we have to take y coordinate of 3 means we have to go perpendicular distance from the x-axis. We have to take the perpendicular path from the x-axis here. It means y-coordinate of any number, y-coordinate of any number having a perpendicular distance from x-axis. Yes. So we have to go perpendicular distance from the x-axis here. Then I have both the numbers, so x coordinate and y coordinate. So then we have to represent it in a bracket. So in the bracket we have to write the x coordinate first and the y coordinate in the second. So that is, while we are representing the coordinates, we must put it in a bracket. So we must put it inside the bracket. Where the x coordinate right first, or comes first, and y coordinate comes next. That is, we have to represent it in a way that x comma y here. So whatever be the x coordinate and whatever be the y coordinate, we have to write it in a x comma y form. That is, x coordinate comes first and y coordinate comes next, and the whole system where we have to write in between the brackets. So here we have to put it in a bracket. So x coordinate comes first and y coordinate comes next here. So for example, I will have to represent the minus 3, 2 here. So I will take the example as minus 3 and 2. So it's the x coordinate of minus 3 and y coordinate of 2. So just x coordinate of minus 3. X coordinate of minus 3 means we have to take the perpendicular distance from the y coordinate. So minus 3 means it's a negative x coordinate. That means we have to take it in this way. So firstly we have to come here with the perpendicular distance from the y-axis. So then we have to take the 2 here, y coordinate of 2. That means we have to take the perpendicular distance from the x-axis at a distance of 2 here. We have to take here. So that means it is in a distance of minus 3 and here it is a distance of minus 2. It's a minus 2, it's a minus 3. So firstly we have to come with the perpendicular distance from the y-axis, that is minus 3 distance. So then after that we have to take the perpendicular distance from the x-axis, that is minus, it's a plus 2. So here 2 is there, plus 2 is there. That means we have to take the positive direction. We have to take it in a positive direction. That is, it's a plus 2 and it's a minus 2. So firstly we have to take the perpendicular distance from the y-axis and then we have to take the perpendicular distance from the x-axis here. So while we are representing, then we have to represent this point, that is, it's a, firstly we have to write the x coordinate, that is minus 3, and then we have to write the y coordinate, that is minus 3, 2 here. So this is about how can we locate the point. So we already know that the positive first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant and fourth quadrant. The first quadrant we always see this in the form of plus comma plus here. Then second quadrant it always is in the form of minus comma plus. We already know that. And third quadrant it's always in the form of minus comma minus here. And the fourth quadrant it's always in the form of minus plus comma minus here. So just observe, it's a minus 3 comma 2 is there. So that means it's a second quadrant. It always be a second quadrant. It's in the form of minus comma plus. Here it is also minus negative coordinate of x-axis and positive coordinate of y-axis. Here negative coordinate of x-axis and positive coordinate of y-axis is there. So let us solve some of the problems based on the locating a point. Firstly, I will take, so I will note this part. For example, I will take minus 2 comma minus 4. So just firstly I have to take the perpendicular distance from the y-axis, then I will take the perpendicular distance from the x-axis. So here, firstly I will take minus 2, I will take the perpendicular distance from minus 2 here. So here I will came perpendicular distance from the y-axis. So I am at a distance of minus 2. So then after that we have to take the minus 4. So that means minus 4 means we have to go in a negative direction. So this is the negative direction of y-axis. We have to take the minus 4 distance perpendicular to the x-axis. That is, I will take this path here, then here I will represent minus 4 here. Then we have to represent it in a coordinate system, that is minus 2 comma minus 4. We already learned that it's in the third quadrant. The third quadrant coordinates is always in the form of minus comma minus here. So it's always in the form of minus comma minus. That is the first quadrant. This is in the third quadrant. So I will take 1 comma 2. So that means 1 comma 2. So I will take the perpendicular distance from y-axis, that is I will take up to here. So 1. Then I have to take the perpendicular distance from the x-axis with the 2 distance, that is 1 and 2. So that means the point is here. So we have to represent that points. Firstly we have to write the x coordinate and then we have to write the y coordinate. It is 1 comma 2 here. Then here I will take minus 2 comma 3. So we already done in the second quadrant. We have to take it in a third quadrant. That is, firstly we have to take the perpendicular distance from the origin. So that is y-axis. So firstly I will take minus 2 distance, perpendicular distance I will came here from the y-axis, and then we have to take the perpendicular distance from the x-axis, that is minus 3 terms. So minus 3 distance, that is here I will came here. So it's the distance of from the y-axis it has a distance of 2 and from the x-axis it has a distance from 3. So then here we have to represent it in a coordinate system, that is firstly I will write the x coordinate and then I will write the y coordinate. So finally I will take another one for coordinate in the fourth quadrant, that is for example I will take 3 comma minus 1. So firstly I will take the perpendicular distance from the x-axis, that is perpendicular distance from the y-axis. Firstly we have to take the perpendicular distance from the y-axis. So here I will go to the 3, that is perpendicular distance from the y-axis. I will here I will be on the 3. So here after that we have to take the -1 distance perpendicular distance from the x-axis, that is here -1 is there. Yes. So I will write it as a 3 comma -1. Here I will write 3 first and -1 next. That means we have to write it in a way that x comma y, that is we have to write the x coordinate first and the y coordinate next here. So just observe there, observe the diagram. So the first quadrant, in the first quadrant we got it in the form of plus comma plus, and here we got it in the form of minus comma plus. Here we got it in the form of minus comma minus, then here we got it in the form of plus comma minus here. So we have come to the conclusion that the first quadrant is always it in the form of plus comma plus, and second quadrant is always it in the form of minus comma plus, and the third quadrant is always it in the form of minus comma minus, and the fourth quadrant is always in the form of plus comma minus. So these are all about the locating the point on the Cartesian plane. So just take some notes here. So likewise, so there are some facts about this coordinate system, so we have to keep it in our mind. So firstly, it's a note we have to learn, so we have to keep it in our mind always. So that is the point on the x-axis means the point on the x-axis apart from origin, apart from the origin. That means y coordinate is 0. Y coordinate is 0. The point on the x-axis is apart from the origin. That means, so we can't take the point in the origin. Point on the origin means it's a x coordinate also 0, y coordinate also 0. So apart from origin I will take any other point. So here -1, -2, -3 on the x-axis only. So we have to locate the point on the x-axis apart from the origin. So consider I will consider this point. So when the point is on the x-axis, when we have to locate the point on the x-axis only apart from the origin, that means the y coordinate of that point is always 0. That means here we have to write 2 comma 0. There is any perpendicular distance from the x-axis. So here we remain it on the x-axis means the y coordinate of that point is 0. So likewise we have to take the another situation, that is the point on the y-axis. The point on the y-axis, the point on the y-axis apart from origin, that is x coordinate is 0. X coordinate is 0. So I will consider -3. So the point is on the y-axis. I will locate that point is on the y-axis. That means the x coordinate of that point is always 0. So likewise we have to write the 0 here. So we can't neglect that point. So here we have to write the x coordinate first and y coordinate next. So we don't take only -3 and here only 2. So that is wrong. So here we have to take the x coordinate and also y coordinate, whether it is 0 or anything. So we have to write x coordinate first and the y coordinate is next. The fact that the point is on the x-axis, the point is located on the x-axis, that means the y-coordinate of that point is 0, and the point is located on the y-axis means the x-coordinate of that point is 0. So these are about some of the interesting facts about the Cartesian plane. When the x-coordinate is 0 and y-coordinate is 0, when the point is located on the origin, then the x-coordinate and y-coordinate is 0. That means both are in the initial position. So here there are three conditions. That means, so the point is on the x-axis means the y-coordinate is 0, and the point is on the y-axis means the x-coordinate is 0. Here y-coordinate is 0, here x-coordinate is 0. The point is on the origin means both the coordinates are zeros here. So I hope you understood that. So let us take any problems regarding this. You can solve in your home also. So I will consider the another point as that the point is on the origin. Origin means the x-coordinate, the both x and y coordinates, are zeros. Yes, these are the points we have to keep it in our mind, because so when the point we express it on the represent on the x-axis, that means we have to write the y coordinate as 0. So it is understood. We have to write it in a form that is a comma 0 and 2 comma 0. Likewise, if we represent the point on the y-axis, the point is already located on the y-axis means the x-coordinate of 0. We have to represent the x-coordinate also. We can't neglect that. So if the point is located on the origin means both the x-coordinates and y-coordinates are zeros here. So we have to represent it in that way. So let us take some two problems regarding the locating a point here. For example, 5, 0 and 0, 5 and 1, 2 and 2, 1. Then 5, -3, 2 and 3, -2. Then -5, -2 and 5, 2. So likewise, we have to represent. Yes. So firstly I will take 5, 0 and 0, 5. So here I will take 5 here and okay. So just 5, 0 and 0, 5. That means we have to take the perpendicular distance. Firstly we have to take the perpendicular distance from y-axis, and then we have to remain on that because the y coordinate is 0, because the point is on the y-axis only. So that means point is on the x-axis only. So 5, 0, it has the x coordinate but it doesn't have the y coordinate. That means the point is always located on the x-axis. We have to take the perpendicular distance from the x-axis. That is, we have to take the point here. It is a 5, 0. The point is 0. Then we have to take the 0, 5. That means the point is located on the y-axis only, because the y coordinate is non-zero and x coordinate is 0. That means we have to take the perpendicular distance from the x-axis. We have to start from the origin. We have to take the perpendicular distance from the x-axis up to 5. So the point is here. So that means then we came to here. So 1, 2. Firstly we have to take the perpendicular distance from the y-axis. Then we have to take the perpendicular distance from the x-axis. So 1, 2. So firstly I have to take perpendicular distance from y-axis, that is 1, 2. Here we have to represent 1, 2. Then we have to take 2, 1. Firstly, we have to take the perpendicular distance up to 2, and then we have to take the perpendicular distance from the x-axis, that is 1. That is 2, 1. Then here, so minus 3, 2 here. So firstly, we have to take the perpendicular distance from the y-axis, that is minus 3, and so then we have to take the perpendicular distance from the x-axis, that is 2 here. Here minus 3, 2. Always write the first x coordinate first and y coordinate next. Next 3, minus 2. Firstly, I have to take the perpendicular distance from the y-axis 3, and 3, minus 2 is there. So we have to go perpendicular distance from the x-axis in the negative y direction, that is here minus 2. That is 3, minus 2 is there. Then minus 5, minus 2. So firstly we have to take the minus 5. So here I will extend here minus 4 and minus 5. So that is, so firstly we have to take the perpendicular distance from y-axis, that is minus 5. So here we have, so after that from this I have to be here. Then we have to take the negative y direction. So up to minus 2 distance. So perpendicular from the x-axis, that is, so we have to take the point here, that is minus 5, minus 2. So it is the distance of minus 5 and here is minus 2. Then, so 5, 2. Then firstly I have to take the perpendicular distance from the y-axis, that is up to 5, and then we have to take the distance of 2 here. So it is, we have to take the perpendicular distance from the x-axis here. So then the point is here, that is 5, 2. So likewise you can take any other points in your home and you can locate those points in the Cartesian plane here. So I will conclude this chapter here. So thank you one and all. Be safe and stay home. Thank you.